Heard you walked right up into a whole thing.
Take up a position at the table, Initiate. There's a lot to talk about.
Any of these possible font shapes.
Sounds like Zendara filled you in, sir, but I've got about 1,000,000 questions.
Story time, Jack.
And I used to really love story time.
The Shrouded Realm is a world of raw, untempered magic. A magic so formless and wild, it's impossible to master.
Yeah, I think I've been there.
Then the Pentasod came to that world and created the fonts. 5 great anchors that connected the Shrouded Realm to Aveum. The ley lines spread out from these fonts, traveling through both worlds, turning the Shrouded Realm's magic into a resource we could use.
If someone could capture the power of a font, they'd control magic in a way that no Magnus has before.
Like a living leyline tower, capable of drawing magic from the very source, capable of even redirecting it away from other Magni.
Sandrak has done exactly that. We believe he's in possession of a Thrata Cull, a binding stone, an artifact that can control the fonts.
So that's what I saw the hand pull out of the ruins.
That's right. With it, Sandrak will eventually be able to block our access to magic completely. Then the Everwar is over.
Over? As in he takes over Lucium?
As in, he takes over everything.
Sir, respectfully and whatever, you're wrong.
Excuse me?
Oh boy.
You said it yourself. Magic is a resource. Just because Sandrak absorbed a font or whatever doesn't mean his power is endless. It's just that it's probably ginormous. If he found a way to use the Binding Stone, so can we. We can take it back and then...
Make yourself at home.
I bring you good news, sister. Peace is near. Allow me to let you witness it,
A small kindness between friends.
if you would have it.
We were just discussing what the best response would be to your desecration of the fonts.
Had you yet concluded you have none? Let us meet at Nicaea to discuss the terms of your surrender. I hear now you speak for your king. So there should...
Trap!
The boy does not know me. You have my word. The traditions of Aristea will be upheld, without violence. I see a Lucium that genuinely survives this part of history. Can you?
Well, that was horrible. Course of action?
Devin, make sure every last trace of them is really gone. Zendara, I need you to speak to the Watch commanders.
We're meeting Sandrak at Nicaea.
We're outgunned, not outfought. Not yet. Jack, let's talk.
Is Zendara right? We're going to actually walk into Sandrak's trap.
It's not a trap. Sandrak fashions himself after the nobility of Aristea. He'll honor the tradition of Nicaea as neutral ground.
Sir, I know you don't plan to surrender.
Not even a little bit. We'll take him by surprise, hit him with everything we got, and hope the power of that binding stone of his is found wanting.
Okay, so it's our trap then.
The Immortals can't let Sandrak take control of magic, Jack. We have to take our chances.
Speaking of the Immortals and Sandrak having been an Immortal and you never telling me your fellow Immortal.
I figured this was coming. There's not a lot of time here.
I had a right to know. You recruited me the day Sandrak destroyed my home. I've been fighting against Rasharn ever since you told me.
What difference would it have made?
I don't know, but how do you benefit by constantly keeping secrets from me? You could have told me about the fonts long before any...
You joined the army, Jack, not the academy. You only needed to know what helped you in the field.
I don't feel that's a good enough answer, sir.
I'm sure you can live with it for the time being. If we survive Nocia, we can talk about it again. Now, a few pieces need to fall into place for this ambush to work. I need you to take this to Captain Selko.
A portal stone. Any message to go along with it?
Selko will know what to do. You'll find him in Lordsfell along with a battalion of our soldiers.
Understood. I'll head out now. Kirkin didn't say what that thing does.
Probably better you don't know, sir.
Is it though?
If you got captured.
Sure. It's just, if I knew the whole plan, it could be helpful, since I'm like, part of the plan. Am I right?
You have a point.
You aren't going to tell me, are you?
Nope.
Great. See you around, Captain.
Jack, Kirkin's asking for an update.
I delivered the portal stone to Captain Selko. What's next?
Rendezvous with the rest of us at Nocia. Our parley with Sandrak is imminent.
Parlay.
What?
Never heard anyone actually use that word.
It's the nerves.
Uh-huh. See you soon.
Combat and
see you up ahead, game face Jack. Uh-oh. Can I call dibs?
Not the time, Jack.
So, what's the plan?
Dunno, this all feels a bit improvisational, if I'm being honest.
You bring no banner?
Didn't feel the need.
I held a small hope you might see reason. Yet you remain the same Kirkin that made me abandon the Immortals years ago. Obsessed with victory, stranger to compromise. Your eye ever bent towards the world's ruin.
And you just want to save it.
I can. With this. Its mastery over the fonts means I can end the war.
You mean win the war? By turning the rest of us defenseless?
In our every meeting, a yipping pup.
Jack's right, though. You're not worthy of that power, Sandrak. Your airships bombed the free cities of the East and then wonder why they resist you now? The last order that surrendered to Rasharn, you burned their ambassadors alive. If my eye is ever bent towards the world's ruin, it's because I'm trying to stop the man causing so much of it.
Please, don't make me do this.
Captain Selko. You went mad. You didn't abandon us. You were exiled. And I'm still paying the price for not killing you.
Remember, this blood is on your hands.
It's the wound!
He's moving it!
We have to go! Now! Fall back!
Devin.
Jack, glad you're on your feet. That could have been so much worse. Took ages, but Zendara was finally able to dig you out of the rubble.
No, not her. I rather would have died. I'm never living that down.
Nope. Never.
How many did we lose?
Considering Sandrak just dropped a city into the wound, surprisingly few. But enough to have made his point. Kirkin's left for Lavnery to talk with the king. He wants a full surrender after Nocia. There's even talk that Kirkin's emergency powers may be rescinded.
So who's in charge?
Zendara. And I'll warn you, she's in a bit of a mood.
Kind of on brand for her.
I heard that!
Whoops.
Meet us in the war chamber, Jack. We've come to the conclusion that we're in desperate need of a plan.
Kirkin may be gone, but our job's still the same. Eliminating Sandrak and his hold over the fonts.
There are 5, right? He can't have them all yet. We may not know what the Binding Stone does, or how Sandrak uses it, but we can try and keep him away from the rest if all of us just... What?
The fonts are hidden from us, Jack. Invisible. Buried in the liminal spaces where the borders between Aveum and the Shrouded Realm are weakest.
We only know the location of 2. The Palathon is actually built around one, and the other is in the Tower of Masks in Rasharn.
Which means Sandrak's already used the Binding Stone to absorb its power.
We have to assume he has.
Technically, we now know the location of 3 fonts, but the one in the Pale Forest is, well, you saw what happened to it.
So that leaves the last 2, and only Sandrak knows where they are. Fine. Pin that. We concentrate on the Binding Stone instead. We know where that is. We just need to learn how to shut it off. And fast.
Not necessarily. According to my research, a Thradda cull takes a huge toll on its possessor. Sandrak will have to rest before doing another stunt like that. We may have a little time.
Which leads us to former Grand Magnus Thaddeus. Kirkin's predecessor, now in exile. The oldest of us that still lives. By all accounts, he was an expert on Aristea. If there's a weakness to the very Aristean Binding Stone, he'll know about it. In theory.
Sticky wicket, the situation with Thaddeus.
That's not important.
Kind of feels like it is.
What Zendara means to say is it doesn't matter that Thaddeus hates the Immortals and everything we stand for, because you'll undoubtedly figure out a way to convince him to help us. And a bonus potential setback, because the universe is cruel. Like the remaining fonts, we also don't know where Thaddeus is.
His last known location was the Sky Islands of Oromon, digging through the archives at the Library of Akoth.
Okay, then what are we waiting for? I go to Oromon, make nice with a friendly librarian.
Actually getting to Oromon is difficult, Initiate. You're gonna need to learn how to ride a ley line. Devin, you're running support. Walk Jack through what he needs to do to get airborne.
Ready when you are, Jack. You'll need a special spell to properly ride the ley lines, and a strong stomach.
Why? What's this spell like?
Like Lash, only more panic, vertigo, and fear of heights. Fortunately, there's a Shroud Fane in the Harrows where you can find one.
The Harrows over in Havenshire? Got it. All right, I'll be quick. But hey, you okay? We never really got to talk about what happened at Nicaea.
They're hard for me to pass, honestly. My feelings on all of that destruction. Call me when you have the spell and I'll tell you where we go from there.
Devin, where do I head next? I've got the spell I need to ride the ley lines.
Splendid. The ley line we need to get to Orman is close by.
Heading your way then.
Some view, huh? If magical post-apocalyptic vistas are your thing.
What the hell happened out there?
The Gatorond. Mix stupid ideas with bold, magical experiments and blow your own kingdom to pieces.
Wait, they did it to themselves?
Indeed. So, the mission. Go to the archives at the Library of Akoth in Orman. See if we can find any trace of Thaddeus, and find out if he knows anything about the Binding Stone. You ready to leave now? Or do you want to go over other mission intel?
So the Gatorond, huh? All I'd heard about Orman was that they gave up fighting in the Everwar, what, 20 years ago?
More or less. They basically ground themselves to sand. They didn't so much give up as vanish awkwardly from the stage.
What happened?
A populist faction with a fiery name that I can't remember took over the Ormic government. They advocated for an equal ownership of magic, not just between Magni, but among the lightless as well. They believed that by distributing magic evenly, the world would finally be able to work towards an end to the Everwar. Can you imagine? I mean, look where it got them.
Maybe? Part of me absolutely can.
Dynastic magical traditions, thousands of years old, versus some upstart idea of shared magic that results in the destruction of roughly a fifth of the continent? I'll trust my overly stringent forebears, thank you very much.
I think I'm good to go. After you.
Let's see if I remember how to do this.
I could get used to that.
Give me a portal any day. There's a very high vomit probability for me right now.
Suck it up, buddy. We need to get to...
Jack!
Hey, I'm Jack. This is Devin. Thanks for the assist. Well, what's your name?
Kenzie. You're Lucians, aren't you?
Also, Immortals. Just to be clear.
Is that a literal thing?
What? No, we can die. It's just
Good.
like...
Then stay back.
Hey, watch it!
Jack, I may have neglected to mention that the Ormic are notoriously territorial underneath their Bohemian facade.
Oh, that's rich. Coming from a pampered classist jackboot masquerading as some champion of justice.
Look, we're just looking for someone that was here a little bit ago.
I love neo-anarchist pablum as much as the next weak-kneed revolutionary. but I think we can both admit it loses its luster when it ultimately results in the destruction of your entire kingdom.
That's not what happened, and you imperialist fuckos know it.
Oh, did I say kingdom? I'm sorry. I meant a failed collective that's now just a stretch of gravity-challenged rocks. Maybe the next wrong-headed egalitarian social experiment with magic fares a bit better than all of this unchecked calamity.
Wow. Does he always love to hear himself talk this much?
Well,
Jack?
I mean, I can't say no. Look, how about we table the culture clash for a bit, huh? We came here on a mission to keep Sandrak from winning the Ever War. Maybe you can help us.
Who? You know what? Scratch that. It's not like I care who wins that stupid war. The sooner someone does, the sooner you can all get out of Orman.
You don't know who Sandrak is.
Nope. But I figure since you're Lucian, he's from Asharn. Same thing, really.
Different flags. Same oppressive totalitarian magic-hoarding police state. Am I doing it right?
Unhelpful.
You're on your own. Mind the road. These chronicler constructs are everywhere. Started spilling out of the library months ago. And you'll be happy to know that there are plenty of Rasharnians around, too. You can keep trying to prove which one of you has the right to determine the lives of the rest of us.
Hey, wait up. We really are here to save the world.
Let her go.
With the Rashanians and these chroniclers about, we really could use someone that knows the territory. I'll catch up with her and...
Be nicer.
Good plan. You push forward to the library and we'll meet you there. She'll come around.